This kind of thing used to be civilized, but with a guy like Dusty, you guys not remember the last time we tried to do the Dusties?
Oh, we remember. That's why we have to be super careful and very precise.
Listen, you gotta be nuts. And you're gonna need a crew as nuts as you are if you want to pull this off. Who do you got in mind?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much just us three and Dusty.
We're gonna need more help.
Yeah.
Okay, Elise is in town. Maybe hearing from someone who's been a part of the channel since day one would help.
It would be a lot tougher for him to say no to a member of the Goshak fam.
Oh, okay. Who else?
Well, I know he cannot say no to Navy.
I mean, who could say no to Navy?
Yep, good call. Who else?
I mean, if you're going to use one kid, might as well use them all, right?
The teens? I mean, we can try. They might be very busy with very important stuff. Beer today? I mean, they're like brothers, basically.
Yeah, he can work the bro angle. The brangle.
Yeah, okay, you've been around Dusty too long, Tony.
Too long.
Yeah, you're right.
Tonight, for the first time ever, we bestow honors upon the smelliest of assholes. The best of the best, the worst of the worst. And what better way to bestow honor upon those assholes?
Babe, it's time. It wasn't a question.
I'll do it. And I'm gonna look good.
Yeah, you are. Damn.
Oh my god, it's Dusty Thunder!
Get out your brooms.
Where are the teens?
Mom? Do you have a charger? Mom?
Where are they?
Welcome to the second annual DUSTYS, where we will celebrate the best of the best and the worst of the worst from stories that we covered in 2024. I know what you're saying. Wait, what? You said you would never do the DUSTYS again. You're right, I did say that. Yet here I am. So I'm either just a liar or wrong. But it was time. You told us so, and the team agreed with you. Now, some of you have never seen the original DUSTYS, and there's a very good reason for that. It was a fustercluck of epic proportions, and since it was done live, I just kind of had a meltdown. Still traumatized. This time, we're doing things a wee bit differently. Instead of announcing our winner and showing the full winning video, which is what would have happened during the original DUSTYS, except everything was broken, we'll announce our winner, play a short highlight reel from the winning story, then show a short discussion with Candy Thunder, Tony Spark, Caden Thunder, and myself about the winning story, and then we'll move on. After all of the winners have been announced, we will show the full-length winning stories. All of them. All of them. Plus, maybe a special treat or two for those who stick around. And with that, get out your gosh heckin' brooms. It's about to get DUSTYS. Sometimes we can be leisurely reading along, enjoying a Sunday drive-through story. OP has given us a lay of the land and our brains have accepted it. But then, bam, something changes. What you thought was a stable reality turns out to be a lie, a charade, a farce. The real problem, villain, and/or truth emerges, and we're left in a confuzzled state of what the fuckity fuck as our brains try to accept this new reality. For our first category in this prestigious award show, let's take a look at Best Plot Twist.
My soon-to-be ex-wife and I, 29 male, have wanted kids for years and were thrilled when she finally got pregnant last year. 4 weeks into her pregnancy, everything started going downhill. Threatened to divorce me and get a restraining order if I even called her. I found out about the birth of my son from a Facebook post. Oh, hell no. I tried to go to the hospital to visit. They had security kick me out. Last week, my soon-to-be ex called. She wants to come home. She wants our son to have his father. Show me a paternity test and I'll do everything I can for him and him only. It got complicated. Got complicated? It was already way complicated. Everything my mother-in-law's husband did to her, she convinced my wife I would do to her, and she pumped this poison into her for months. Well, this was all a fantastic waste of time. What actually happened, she started having an affair with a coworker roughly 4 months before she got pregnant. AP was at the birth, high, and tried to start a fight with them. But then wife already did a paternity test and it was his.
So the part about this that I still don't know is, was the crazy mother-in-law, was she really convincing OP's wife to be anti-OP or anti-man? Or is that all just a charade because OP's wife was pregnant with AP's baby?
I understood it to all be a charade. And
All
I
of
think
it?
that's why we chose this one for best plot twist, because we thought it was the anti-man, the whatever part of that. And it wasn't. She was just cheating the whole time.
Yeah, all that was just a cover.
All of that was a cover
story
for-
to cover her.
Yeah.
Imagine
This girl was cheating the whole time.
cooking up that beast of a story.
I can't.
That's like you'd have to have like a
That's like
spreadsheet and a dot. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
keep
here's
it
what
all
I said to
straight.
this person. Here's when I said this, and like that's
Before
a lot.
every response, check that sheet.
Who has the time to do that?
Well, I mean,
Crazy
look, if you...
Apparently,
So she cheated. She got pregnant with her affair partner.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that I don't get is that he convinced her to leave OP, right? So he was going to be with her. So when did the lies start? Was it then, or was it when he convinced her to leave, and then she did leave, and he was like, "Oh wait, no." Is that when all of the real charade started?
I'm not sure, because she didn't even just ice her, like her husband out. Like she treated him like dirt on the bottom of her shoe.
yeah.
Like she was,
File a fucking restraining order against
yeah,
him.
she was
Like it wasn't just a little
completely-
bit. Like it was completely.
yeah,
just
complete disrespect
Mhm. Yeah.
and like treating him unlike a human being. And
Weird,
and
'cause
then
still
left.
made him think it was his baby.
Yes.
But he had to find out about the birth on
Yeah.
Facebook.
and he was like, I understand. Yo, go ahead, kid.
Well, maybe at first she was trying to get him to leave her.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Trying
So
to,
that she wouldn't feel guilty about.
and that would be just because she didn't want to have to go through the trouble of being the bad guy herself. So
That's shitty.
Well, she was already the bad guy.
I wouldn't put
She
it past
opened
this
up
person.
Her
I'm a
legs
bad guy.
to AP. Right?
to someone who was not her husband, and then tried to pass off the baby as his.
What was that motion, Caden? Was that the affair like happening?
That was the affair dance.
The affair dance.
Okay. So
Well, congratulations to winner of biggest plot twist in the 2025 Dusties. And is the music playing? Is this where our music plays if we go on
probably
too long?
Everybody do the
all
affair
twists and turns. Of course, that would win best plot twist.
Is this a graduation?
That's the graduation.
Okay.
I don't think that's how that goes.
I don't think the Emmy award-winning playoff music is graduation.
my-
song.
My mouth afford no boundaries.
Okay. Congrats to the ones with all the twists and turns. A natural selection for best plot twist.
Yeah.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
Clap.
Batshit. Not the guano kind, the madness kind. Some stories present us with a scenario that our brains just can't accept. We find ourselves as befuddled as OP, who has been thrust into the awkward situation, as if we're standing right next to them as the mayhem plays out, looking to each other with bewilderment. And who causes this madness? Sometimes it's an individual with unrealistic expectations and a warped worldview. Sometimes it's an entire family who feeds into each other's miscalibrated sense of reality. We're talking straight Delulu. No chaser. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you our second annual Dusty winner for most Delulu story.
This year, I celebrated Christmas with my fiance's family for the first time. His parents usually come short in the amount of food they cook for Christmas dinner, and that there's often not enough for everyone. What I didn't expect, though, was to participate in the family's weird tradition, where instead of drawing straws, they'll all throw their underwear in a bin and then take turns wearing a blindfold and drawing a pair of underwear from the pile, and drawing the smallest pair of underwear correlates to drawing the smallest straw. I thought the family was joking when they announced this, so I laughed. I volunteered to get my food last so I wouldn't have to participate, but my fiance just got more annoyed and asked me to just try to be a bit more agreeable. The whole thing was just kind of weirding me out, so I called an Uber and went home. Now things are real tense between me and my fiance. I made a bad impression by acting like I was too good for their family tradition. I am too good for your family tradition. I'm too normal for your weird-ass, free-balling family tradition. Went to Christmas dinner, and all I got was chafing.
Would you guys do this, or would you leave if this was a thing?
No, this feels
That's
more.
so weird.
Get on, get on.
I'd be like,
Get right at him.
I'd be like, I free-balled here, so I can just eat.
Feels more like a backyard cookout type of situation.
Keanu
Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah, not for the holidays. Come on,
I just don't get it. Like, I don't like. Who thinks this is a thing?
Okay,
like,
but
I don't.
OP was obviously brought up this way, so it's nothing weird to OP.
Weird.
But when it, not OP's partner, but OP noped out and was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving."
So when they're babies, do they just throw in like a pissy diaper?
Sure.
And that's the youngest.
Sure.
Yeah, do the kids always get to eat first?
No, whoever.
Or no, I guess it's whoever draws it. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
We gotta like close your eyes and really feel around. But who wants to touch other people's underwear, right?
What about the people that don't wipe good? You know they're not getting in there and cleaning that
Like,
shit.
every pair of underwear in there is not a clean pair of underwear.
I don't know. Smelly.
I would
Yucky.
had
Icky.
OP known about this ahead of time, which she didn't, and that's the big problem here is that they sprung this on her like while they were walking in. Had she known about this ahead of time, I would have been like, "Hey, you crust those up real good, right? Bring a pair, like wear your pair, but bring a pair as well."
That's nasty.
And that's an advantage everybody else had over OP is they know this is coming, so they can bring an extra pair, right? They can wear one, bring one. She just had the one she brought, but I would crust the fuck out of those underwear.
Like fake deer urine.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, I mean, rub some dog shit in him.
Could have been wearing his skid marks.
I mean, I guess I get it if he was like, if OP was
solid
raised that
chunk.
way, but still, at some point, you have to think that. We just rummage through a pile of people's underwear and be like, "Hey, toss me a roll." Oh, what kind of appetizers we got over here? You guys want some chips? Let me put some on the plate for you. Like, why?
Move the underwear off the
I don't
table.
understand. I don't understand.
And of course, people,
Yikes.
as they're trying to reach through and find the smallest pair, are like, "Let me see that tong, ta-tong, tong, tong." So, our winner for most Delulu, the one with the most requested story of all time.
Yeah.
The dirty, crusty drawers.
This isn't the Dusties. It's the
Congratulations. You're
The
disgusting.
Crusties. Yeah, congratulations. You might have one of the weirdest family traditions that
You're
we've
a
ever heard.
gentleman and a scholar.
I mean, I can't think of a weirder family thing tradition, weird thing that I've ever heard.
I can't.
What?
You said you wouldn't tell anybody about our weird traditions, Caden.
We'll save it for next time.
Yikes.
We don't always have to agree. We talk about that often. We each have different opinions shaped by our unique lives, but every once in a while, a story comes along that creates more division than a 5th grade math class. Lines are drawn, sides are chosen. Chat and comments engage in a battle that lasts a fortnight. And in the end, does a winner emerge? Nope. Everyone goes on their way, believing what they believe. And that's what makes being human beautiful, right? We don't have to agree on everything to be and to remain friends. Here is this year's winner for Biggest Argument Starter.
I cheated on my ex-girlfriend of 8 years, Annie, with a colleague, Jess, who I now have a 3-week-old son with. Annie delivered my stuff to my parents' house before I even knew she knew about the cheating. She didn't even confront me. She just cut me out of her life without a word. In the final stretch of Jess's pregnancy, I saw Annie in a shop for the first time since the breakup. She found a keychain my granddad got me when I was very young. She just said I could either get it on Saturday or it was going in the bin, so I agreed a time to go over. When I got to my old house, Annie invited me in to talk about how things ended between us. She let me apologize for the way that I treated her, wished me the best with my new family, and hugged me as I left. When I arrived at the hospital after seeing Annie, Jess had revoked my access, and the ward manager wouldn't tell me why. I tried calling Jess and her mom over and over, and the only response I got was a screen recording of a message from Annie. It was a doorbell footage of me walking through the door at 9:30 and then back out just after 10:15. And the hug is only partly caught, so it does look like we could have been kissing. The message Annie sent with it said, "Did he even shower and change his clothes between me?"
This was the biggest argument starter because it was pretty 50-50 in chat too and in comments. Like, some people believe him. I want to say most people don't believe him.
I think it wasn't about believing him. It was whether or not the revenge that his ex did against him was sanctioned. Was it too far to do that even though he didn't cheat? Or did he actually cheat and she had proof and she sent it? So I think that was the argument in chat. I don't like to get revenge this way. I don't want to set somebody up in that way. I'm more of a petty revenge, and this was like full on crazy revenge.
Well, and my biggest problem with it was that the ex used a child.
Yeah.
She used a kid to exact her revenge, and it was the birth of his child. And even if he did cheat, like,
even if he's the scum of the earth, he doesn't, I don't think anyone deserves that. I don't like it. It just doesn't set well with me.
I don't like it, brother.
I don't like it, brother. I don't like it.
That's just a new thing. That needs to be a shirt now, too.
I don't like it, brother.
Caden, thoughts?
I don't like it, brother.
We don't like it.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime, like, I agree with Candy, like, petty revenge is one thing, but, like, sometimes when you go too far, you go too far. And then getting a child involved and making that a part of it is like, the line is here, and like went too far.
So I think all of us sitting here are like, yeah, X went too far with this kind of revenge.
Yes.
Separate question: do you believe him?
I don't. I think nobody believes him because he cheated, and so the saying "once a cheater, always a cheater" comes from somewhere. I don't believe that saying, but I think people think that cheaters. I think people can cheat for different reasons, and that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. And I may be roasted for saying that, but I think that this OP set himself up for failure by cheating. So if you want to be believed, don't cheat.
So the ex kind of took like the reverse double jeopardy route here.
Yeah, basically,
He's already cheated, so he's immediately guilty, so I can do anything. I don't know. I of course believe him because I want to see the best. I want to see the best in OP and in humanity. But man, regardless, you got yourself into a shit show.
There was no keychain in this world that's going to make me miss the birth of my baby. So he fucked up. Yep. And
it would have to be a really
if you're going to stop by your ex's house on the way to the hospital, then you deserve what's coming to you, I guess. True. But I still wouldn't do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't want that on my
Also,
I don't want that on my conscience.
Having cheated and this being his ex's house and having his baby in the hospital,
to stop bad timing.
By and not tell his wife that he's going to do this makes it look real bad. Yeah. So OP, you done fucked up. There's no denying that at all.
You fucked up. Yep, royally. I don't think that was ever a question if he fucked up. He 100% fucked up in so many different ways.
Fit the crime.
Yeah. I just don't think personally. Maybe she was justified, but personally not something I would want to do.
Yeah.
Going to the gas station to steal a pack of gum and getting arrested for...
And getting shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got dark, y'all. Got dark real quick.
All right, anyways. Congratulations to our biggest argument starter. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on this story in the comments.
We all do dumb stuff. Dudes somehow do the majority of it. It's like we turn off the important parts of our brains, and the remaining portions are only capable of making the worst possible decisions. Sometimes that's harmless, endearing even. Other times, it can cause irreparable damage, providing a fast track to divorce and leaving Bro with the company of only his poor decisions. Bonus points when those poor decisions were manipulated by mommy. For your frustrated enjoyment, here's our second annual Dusty winner for Biggest Brozo.
After my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. She wasn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. I threatened to go no contact with her, and after that she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister's husband, and my sister's daughter came over for dinner. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough, but apparently not, because my niece was still starving. I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion in the fridge. Apparently, my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slapped my wife's stomach. My wife whines back and punches my mother square in the face and drops her. I told everyone to get the out. I look at my wife and say, "Leave now." She shows up here today, so 8 days later, and hands me divorce paperwork and my baby and says, "You have a bit to hang out with her while..."
He needed space because he grew up with a lot of violence in his home, and he had a trauma response to it and needed time to think. But it was
the wrong move.
Yes.
It's definitely the wrong move here.
You chose poorly, sir.
This was Biggest Brozo.
This was the worst move that you could possibly make in this situation,
Yes.
was not to protect your wife and child from the mom who you claim you have a trauma response from, because clearly she doesn't know boundaries and thinks she can just hit whoever she wants.
Seriously. I mean, number one, you say it, and then number two, that's a bad deal. Bad
You're
deal. Not good.
Yeah. No wonder she got Mortal Kombat.
Brozo.
Right.
So he kicked both his mom and his wife out.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was immediately that he acted against his wife. He chose his mom.
Yeah.
Right.
His wife was acting in self-defense, and instead of standing up for her, he said he was going to be a neutral party and kicked them both out.
Yeah, I remember it.
Man.
I remember it being
a.
it was not like a nice tap on the belly either. Like, she slapped the belly. She was not nice with it.
No.
So
That's a Brozo move.
I mean,
I just need some
The
time to
audacity.
think. I need you and our brand new baby to just get out of here so I can think. Like, brother,
you leave.
Don't like it, brother.
Don't like it, brother. Yeah, if you need time to think, you leave. That's it.
Yeah, why would you
Right.
kicking them out is not the right move
Out of
in
her
that
own home,
situation.
right.
Yeah.
Like, what is he thinking? Clearly, he wasn't.
Brozo.
Yeah.
Brozo.
it's not OP's fault your mom joined Fight Club. Sorry, rule number one.
Okay, how do you want to handle this? Like, what do you want to say?
Oh, I'll figure it out.
No, like, I kind of need a plan.
You need a plan.
I know. I hear the words
No,
coming
no,
out of
no.
my mouth and I don't believe
I'm
them.
the planner. You don't need the plan. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I just kind of like turn the mic on and just say words, and something will maybe happen.
Normally I have faith in you, but my faith is fading.
If I had
My faith is fading.
pearls, I would clutch them. I just figured I'd say something like, "Hey, I hope you're enjoying the Dusty so far. Be sure you stick around afterwards because a brand new episode, the first ever episode of The Imperfect Storms,
Oh, you're doing it.
comes out
He's actually doing it, guys.
right after the Dusties."
That's it. That's the promo.
That's the promo right there.
Wow.
Camera thump and all. This is the kind of
Y'all
shit you
aren't
can
surprised.
expect in The Imperfect Storms. A more behind the camera, unfiltered view of Candy Thunder and Dusty Thunder.
Check it out.
Visit the Thunder World.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
We'll see you there.
Bye, guys.
Most of the time, we only get one side of the story. However, once in a blue Brozo moon, we get the other side of the story, and when that happens, oh boy. What transpires requires a tall glass of water, potentially milk, and lots of popcorn. Nothing is quite as exciting as hearing OP get called out for their bullshittery, and learning the additional context that original OP conveniently left out makes them an even bigger astronaut than we previously thought. This winner isn't just the other side of the story. It's this year's spiciest story.
My friend had notified me about my husband's post that had too many specific details that were hard to ignore. I wanted to give my side of the story and include details that he didn't provide. My husband kicked me out of the house after his mother had physically slapped my stomach in front of him, and I punched her in self-defense. I was still recovering after giving birth to his child when his mom slapped my stomach, and my husband exaggerated when he said it wasn't a hard slap. I had a mental breakdown when my husband told me to leave after kicking everyone out of the house. You should have seen his face when he told me to get out without hesitation. His mother sent me a text mockingly saying, "I'm going to file charges against you for assault, you fat little whore. Now stay the out of our lives." I was livid and decided I did not want to be associated with this family anymore and served my husband divorce papers. He didn't take it well and tried to get me to reconsider. I told him that he overlooked his mother's behavior one too many times and that I was done with him and his inability to establish boundaries with his mother. Before I left after handing him divorce papers, he begged me for another chance and told me he cut contact with his mother permanently. Bullshit.
I would be so worried about that Brozo bringing my child around the mother-in-law who hit me. Which is why I think there should have been, I don't know what the right move is because they both hit each other in that, but I would be.
There's self-defense though.
One's self-defense.
Yes, one is self-defense, and she was recovering from a medical procedure, which complicates it even further. I think this one's spiciest because, first of all, hearing the other side of the story is automatically like a spicy ladder climber. But having it be what it is here just makes it that much spicier to hear someone else's side, and then to hear her being like, "No, fuck all this noise. I am out." But I get it. She's got to worry. She's got to worry now about mother-in-law being around the kid and treating the kid like shit as a proxy for her.
I didn't even think about that part. I just thought about mother-in-law filling the child with hate against it. So the mother is saying shitty stuff. But yeah, if she treated the child like shit, that would be
horrible.
Terrible.
That noise.
Terrible. Bad mother-in-law.
Very bad.
Brozo husband.
No good.
I do hope the Brozo husband gets therapy and realizes how fucked up his mom is. Because that is not a normal thing to do, and hit somebody, steal their food, hit them, and then say, "I'm going to file charges against you because you responded to the fact that I hit you
first, but I'm going to charge files.
Right.
I'm going to file charges on you. Yeah.
Charge files.
I'm going to charge files.
Child file
charges.
Charge
so
files
he
on
obviously
you, bitch.
grew up in a very volatile home.
Obviously.
And his inability to handle things clearly comes from that. But this is, for him to get to a space where he even just has a healthy relationship with his kid, he's got a lot of work to do. And I feel bad for him, but not enough to not call him a Brozo and give him the Brozo award for the last one. So I mean,
no, because the option to just leave was right there and he didn't take it.
Yeah.
The road was right there.
The road was wide open.
It's a wide open road.
You walk down it, dude.
Gotta walk down it. You just gotta walk down it.
The sweet smell of revenge sometimes can smell like a dirty asshole. Other times can smell like a clean asshole. The point is, sometimes justified assholery can be deployed to reverse Uno some unsuspecting Delulu Bizzo Brozo astronaut who really deserves that shit. Not all heroes wear capes. Some use their assholes to teach the real stinky assholes a lesson, and in doing so, wipe the shitty smug smiles right off their faces and send those smiles to us. How thoughtful. We give you this year's winner for Best Revenge.
We were sat next to a smaller table full of dudes. They were pretty loud and rude, giving their server a hard time. One of the dudes wanted a drink, alcoholic, but didn't bring his ID. He kept gesturing to his phone, and we heard the server, "I'm sorry, but I can't accept a screenshot." Finally, one of his friends steps up and says he'll buy the drink for him. The server does her best to explain that he can't. It's illegal, and she would get in big trouble for it. Finally, the server says that she'll get her manager and quickly leaves in tears. The birthday boy is pissed and says he's gonna say something. Lucky his girlfriend steps steps in. That's when another friend smirks and says, I have a better idea. I have to fart. I smile and go, so do I. Are we going to crop dust this table? I think we are. At first, the dudes think it's hilarious, pointing out one particular guy and placing the blame on him. The rude table doesn't find the second crop dusting as funny as the first one. When the manager finally comes over and tells them that they're being too loud and they're going to have to leave if they don't calm down, they're pissed and then start complaining about their server. They get a new server who is a very buff man with a face that says, around and find out. They spend the rest of their time with basically their head.
I mean,
great story.
It's perfect revenge. Like anybody, I think you can tell a lot about somebody by how they treat like people when you're out in public.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a server, whether it's like a check person, a cashier, like anywhere, like how you treat people. Like you can tell a lot about a person. And people being mean to servers is just, you can also tell that they've never worked in the service industry before, which I'm an advocate of. I think everybody should have to work in the service industry at one point in their life to understand. Like,
agreed.
Yeah, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna leave $1 tip because your food wasn't cooked right and you're pissed off at your server. Server didn't cook it. That's not that person's problem. Like all of these things are like, oh, you've never had a bad day and like you've never had this or you've never been overwhelmed and you treat a server like shit. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yep. You deserve to be crop dusted.
I thought you were going to say you can tell a lot about a person by the way they crop dust.
I mean, that too.
Or who they crop dust.
You probably could. Like your crop dusting methods say a lot about who you are.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say? Was that,
for the most part.
That was like,
your crop dusting methods.
I just think that the art of crop dusting is something that more people should look into. And I think that the world needs more crop dusting vigilantes like this to be scoping out restaurants.
Crop dusting a long lost art form?
I think crop dusting is a long lost art form, but did we ever really lose it? I think more people need to crop dust.
Could we just not see it?
I think you should go to restaurants and watch for people who are a-holes and then crop dust them.
Give them a taste of their own medicine.
And I think we should just start waiting at restaurants and crop dusting people. That's why I held my hand up.
Oh, you were seeing a new form of content here where we find assholes in public and we go crop dust them, and
crop dust them.
I was going to do it of my own volition on a Tuesday, but we can film it.
We got to film it. I mean, if we're going to do it, we got to film it. Absolutely.
Have you ever crop dusted a table?
When
you were a server?
As a server, have you ever done it?
I can't say that I did it intentionally.
Yes, you can.
You never like these guys are assholes. I'm just gonna. Oops, sorry.
They're not getting.
I'm like, oh, how you guys doing? How's that taste?
Have you crop dusted The Office intentionally?
Obviously.
Oh well, sure.
Well then, there you go.
But I feel like crop dusting as an art form, as it is, requires a lot of practice, right? And I would never do it intentionally, like at waiting at a table, because I don't know that I can completely control the silence. And then I'd be walking by and it'd be like, that'd
be one of those things like, oh,
and
wait.
then they would know.
Like it couldn't be a stealthy one.
You loudly announce that this guest has just relieved themselves.
Also, I didn't know you were such a rookie at crop dusting that you can't control the sound.
Well, you never know. I mean, they say never trust a fart, but when it comes to there are times when you know and there's times when you just don't.
Or sometimes when you're like, oh, you can just
we can call it.
Then you're like, this could go either way.
Yeah, there's sometimes when you
and you don't want to have one of those moments,
but there's times when you don't.
Crop dusty thunder.
But this is also just a great form of revenge.
Sometimes it feels like a fart. Sometimes
it's fairly harmless. It's gonna be that, but like nobody got hurt. Nobody it was a great way of revenge.
You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Congratulations on your Crop Dusty Award.
Yes.
Also,
you're Crop Dusty.
If you're grossed out by the talk of farting, don't pretend like you don't do it, because I know that you do.
In case you haven't heard, Bizzo is the lady version of a Brozo, which is a dumbass astronaut dude. As I've been learning, the Bizzo is wildly different from the Brozo. While a Brozo may become an astronaut unwillingly, or at least unwittingly, the Bizzo is calculated, conniving, completely intentional in her assholery. Some are petty, some are controlling, some are just insecure. Some are just plain old good-fashioned evil. Some don't even try to hide it. Like this one, our winner for Biggest Bizzo.
Been married to my wife for 8 years. She has 4 kids from a previous relationship, and I have one son who's 10. Since day one, I've treated her kids as my own and done the best to support the family. The main issue, and what's tearing me apart, is how she treats my son. She barely acknowledges him, rarely asks how he's doing, and generally acts like he's invisible. Tonight, it hit a breaking point. We were celebrating her daughter's 11th birthday, and everyone was gathering to sing and take pictures. I told my son to get in with the group for a picture, which seemed fine. But then, right after the group photo, my wife looked at my son and told him, "Get out of the picture, move to the side. I want one with just my kids." I told her that we're supposed to be a blended family, that my son deserves to be treated like one of her own. I feel like she's drawing lines between her kids and my son, and it just doesn't sit right with me. For context, my son's biological mom passed away 2 years ago. My son only has my wife now as a mother figure. I'm terrified that this rejection from her is going to hurt him deeply and cause psychological damage. Am I asking too much for her to treat him like part of the family? Am I the astronaut for expecting her to step up and
what does she get out of this? That's what I don't deserve, or what I don't deserve, what I don't understand. And I think what makes her the biggest bizzo is that she doesn't gain anything by this except for making someone else feel small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This one really bothered me a lot because we have a blended family, and I don't want to make our kids feel that way. But I don't know what her reasoning is behind it, whether she just isn't a person that can be a step parent because she feels that her kids matter more. So I don't know.
Well, I think she succeeded in being a step parent. It was the bonus parent thing that she completely failed at. You know what I mean? Yeah. Step parent's just a title. I think everything beyond that is you earn.
Right.
And she just chose to never earn any of that. And it's, at its simplest form, it's probably just that he has a part of him that is his mom. Mm-hmm. And she can't handle that. And it's probably driven by an insecurity thing because he, the parts of him that are his mom are just evidence that her now husband had a life before her, and she can't handle that because some people are so insecure and small-minded that they just can't.
Yeah.
But that makes them the biggest bizzo.
You're a gross bitch.
Gross.
Grody bizzo.
Stank.
Top of the line.
Your table's getting
Grody
crop dusted
bizzo.
soon.
Stink. Stank. Stunk.
Some people just need to make other people feel small to make themselves feel big. And that would be
this bizzo.
What's happening here.
You're a foul one, Mrs. Bizzo. You really are a cunt.
Did you know we don't just read Reddit stories? We also read erotic novels. I kid. Nay, we also, for really real, read some stories from you. Follower submissions have given us some of the best, juiciest, unique, and sometimes most surprising stories. Sometimes the OP who is a follower is indeed the astronaut. As much as it pains us to call you out, just know that if you do send a story to us, there's a chance that we're going to call an asshole. And actually, we kind of enjoy it. In a thrilling entertainment way, not that we enjoy the fact that you're an asshole. Not the followers who are OPs, but also the assholes. I'm losing the point, aren't I? Here's the winner of the second annual DUSTYS Award for Best Follower Submission.
I, male 25, am married to my wife, who is currently super pregnant. She's about 7 months along. My wife had put on a good 30 pounds of fat since getting pregnant. She looks nothing like the woman I've married, but I told her it's okay as long as she tries to keep her figure after she gives birth. We attended a costume party this past weekend, but I had a little surprise for her. Everyone at the party, around 20 people, dressed up as my fat, pregnant wife with a massive baby bump, dark eye circle, face paint, and messy looking hairstyles. It was supposed to be a funny Halloween prank to poke fun at her, but it was an absolute disaster. When I started laughing hysterically, telling her we found her village, she caught on that this was all for her and got a little butthurt about it. I excused myself to the restroom so I could change costumes into my fat suit costume, and when I came back out, she burst into tears and started tearing into me in front of the whole party about how I'm a heartless bastard and how we're all insanely cruel to poke fun at a pregnant woman like this. I told her I was sorry that she got offended and that this was supposed to be a harmless Halloween joke. I thought she'd have a sense of humor considering how massive she's gotten. If I was walking around fat and pregnant, looking like my wife, I'd expect her to make fun of me too. Is my wife overrated?
Yeah.
This is one of those where we said, OP, if you're in chat, do not claim your story.
Yeah.
Because chat was,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
we love our followers, but this guy, what a brozo, dumb
You dumb fuck.
dummy.
dumb thing to do.
And what a great example of one of the risks of submitting a follower submission. Like, if you're the asshole, we're not going to be like, oh, you're a follower, so we'll take it easy. No, you're an asshole.
Chat destroyed it.
We found your email. We found your profile. You're removed. You're blocked.
Yeah.
You're done.
Oof. Also, we should wear those costumes more often.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Our Halloween costumes. Our Greek god. And
Yeah.
Candy Thunder does wear it whenever she reenacts the
That's absolutely true.
the folklore set.
When I'm home by myself
the
and I
Eras
pretend
tour.
that I'm Taylor Swift and I'm swinging those things
She's
around.
singing. She's going through. She's singing August, just dancing through the house, twirling.
Yep.
if you're going to do it, at least do it while I'm there.
That defeats the purpose. It's a self-fulfilling thing.
Film it then.
No.
Something.
But yeah, this guy. What a terrible thing to do. Like, how dumb are you to think that this was a funny idea and to think that your pregnant wife would think that this is funny?
Did he give reasoning for why he thought it was funny? Did his bros hyped him up or something?
That had to be his friends. Like, you know, it'd be really funny.
Was it like his bros that were there at the party with him?
Well, they all dressed up.
Yeah, I remember.
Like they all
and I
dressed
call
up.
bullshit because getting 20 people to be as shitty as he is, I feel like would be a task.
Not if you just told them to dress up like his pregnant wife to prank her and not say his fat wife.
Because my fat wife.
Enough of those people would have, but they dressed up.
They would have girlfriends and wives that'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
this is not a good idea. Unless these are just bros. Like,
I've met groups of people that would do this.
So, I mean, it's possible.
You have met them. I
have.
forgot about that. Yeah.
It is possible. But
This guy totally exists. The guy that shames his wife for gaining weight while pregnant. The guy that expects his wife to bounce right back after childbirth. He's fucking out there and he's in a lot of relationships.
So
he's no longer a follower.
He's using the joke, the humor part of it, making fun of her.
Yeah.
To say what he really feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
To be shitty.
He was like, it's not serious.
Because he just thinks that she's gotten fat and has gained 30 pounds of fat since getting pregnant.
Like, you mean growing your child?
Right.
And also, when we say best follower submission, we mean the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not the best one.
Best worst. Not happy.
Stand-up guy.
Not happy.
Like, it's not great. Like, listen, everybody likes to win awards. It is great to win a Dusty, but it's also not like, congrats, you won a Dusty. You should be proud of yourself. You should not be proud of you. You should not be proud of yourself.
Not the kind of thing you want to put on your shelf. Not at all.
Yeah,
also the gaslighting is hot in this one.
Yeah.
With him calling his wife fat 100 times and then getting embarrassed by her behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve
crop dusting
to
of
have a wife.
gaslighting.
Doesn't deserve to have, as much as we say, like, nobody deserves to miss the birth of her child. This guy might. He might.
Punishment fits the crime.
I mean, as far as he knows, she's just going to deliver a big hunk of fat anyway.
Yeah. Gosh.
It's going to look like the edge.
Oh my gosh. What an
That's
idiot.
what we call that the placenta.
The alien baggage.
Yeah.
Ah, the mother-in-law. The most usual of suspects. The OG villain. As we've discussed many times, they aren't all bad. Many of us are blessed to have wonderful mothers-in-law. However, some really do take on the full-blown mother-in-law villain role, and they take that shit very, very seriously. We've seen them puppeteer their sons, destroying relationships, marriages even. We've seen their egos divide families, their insecurities repel everyone in their lives away from them, leading to the inevitable, why doesn't my family speak to me? And then there's this one, who is bad enough to warrant a defamation lawsuit. I give you this year's winner of Worst Mother-in-Law.
Mother-in-law wasn't too bad at the beginning. My job sent me to live in Washington, so we moved there. And then I found out that I was pregnant, so we told our families over FaceTime. She said, if you knew you were having a baby, why did you move so far away? For the next week, she sent us email after email about houses back in our old state trying to get us to move back. This behavior went on, but we ignored it, especially when we found out the baby might have the same heart condition. Mother-in-law started posting on Facebook how her baby was in danger because of my poor health and accused me of intentionally trying to ruin the baby's life. She got on a plane and showed up to our house. She showed up to the hospital at 3 a.m. in the morning looking for us. We both stayed in the hospital 2 weeks. In that time, mother-in-law posted on Facebook like it was her job. One of my mother-in-law's posts went viral where she was asking for advice on how to claim guardianship of a grandchild if they are being abused by their parent. Like legit lawyers commented links and messaged her. People asked for our address to call CPS. Once they researched her profile page, they found my husband and I. They found his work, my family, and the police did end up coming to our home. I don't know why
So we chose this story for the worst mother-in-law. It's pretty clear why we chose this story for worst
It's the
mother-in-law.
trifecta.
How this old Bizzo became convinced this was her baby and then was willing to just concoct any lie and think that somehow these lies were going to lead her to being able to raise this child is just fucking beyond me.
Crazy.
I think the worst part is getting other baby pictures, like Googling baby pictures of babies from other ethnicities and then posting that and saying, this is my grandchild and
That
she
is
cheated.
malicious.
I don't think that's the worst part. I think the worst part is later posting on Facebook asking for advice about getting custody of babies who are abused, which is what led
Oh
people
my
on
gosh.
Facebook to go into mob mentality mode and to call their employers and actually ruin their
But it wasn't
lives.
just their employers. They were calling the in-laws business and leaving bad reviews.
They
And
review bombed them
this is, talk about destroying someone's life. And that's why I feel
for no reason.
like social media, the call to action that people feel from social media stories. It's like, check the fucking validity.
The
because
torches and pitchforks are
Right?
way too quick to
yeah,
come
this
out.
is like the Beauty and the Beast when they're marching to the castle and they don't have all the information.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
figure it out before you march with your pitchfork.
to go
Don't
to
just
those
go following
links.
Gaston around all the time.
Gaston
Just do
doesn't know
whatever
what
the
he's
fuck he
talking
wants.
about.
This lady's like the female
Gaston.
Gaston. You know?
I mean, to go to like those great lengths to just to ruin someone's life.
And at the end of it, they're like, yes, we'll give you the baby.
That's right. Congratulations.
That's what she thought was
You've
gonna
lied
happen.
Enough.
You win. Here's the baby.
Yeah.
One woman's delusion almost destroyed the lives of an entire family.
I think it did.
I think it
at this
did.
Did
point,
it destroy
is-
their business?
Yeah.
They're filing for defamation, and I don't know what they're going to get from that, but it's not going to put their lives back together.
Yeah.
But
No.
now, what do you do? Like witness protection for OP's family, including the kid? Like,
And they did
something.
get visited by CPS,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. I think
After
multiple
4
times.
days or something, or 2 weeks, something like that. The baby had only been home for
so they
not very long.
Yeah, I think they had 4 days with their baby before shit hit the actual fan.
Yeah.
I would have replied to every Facebook post with a picture of the actual child and be like, "Oh, you mean this one?" And I was like, "What kind of filter did you put on that baby?"
Yeah.
Because like this is not the child. Like you're lying.
Gosh. So,
But if it's on Facebook, it's real. So
I can't imagine being a victim of having to prove my innocence and the rest of the world thinking that I'm guilty
yeah, just because of
of social media.
some delusional woman's
Yeah.
rantings.
That lady needs
Right.
crop dusted.
Hard.
bad.
Yeah, there's crap dusting and then they're just shitting in someone's face.
I was
And
gonna say
that's-
she deserves to be. Yeah.
Shit based.
I think the worst part for her, and one of the reasons that she wins worst mother-in-law, is that she clearly doesn't care for the baby at all.
No.
She clearly doesn't care about
Right.
anybody but feeding her own delusion, her
Yeah.
own fantasy,
Mhm.
and has now harmed this baby's life, has harmed her own child's life. Like she went completely
Just why?
Mhm.
Daenerys at King's Landing, and like just had the eye twitch and then just torched the whole fucking world.
Right.
The bells were ringing. Why though? Like
I
why?
think once you
It's just
dig
like
a
getting
hole,
worse.
yeah, once you dig a hole so far with lies, It's like you have to keep lying because otherwise you have to admit that you fucked up. And she just went all the way.
She probably could have had a relationship.
She died in the rabbit
with the
hole.
baby had she not been a
crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Crazy bitch.
Maybe she got bit by the attention bug. Like as soon as she posted the first thing,
Everybody like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'm so sorry you're going through
so
this.
she got
Yeah.
addicted
Do
to
you
it.
need anything? Oh my
Right.
God, we're here for you.
Her-
That, yeah.
victim. She was enjoying being the center of attention
right.
and the victim.
Right.
Probably.
So she kept going and just kept up in the ante
Mm-hmm.
until it got to this level. And yeah,
And just-
congratulations on
Yeah.
being the worst of the worst, you big old Bizzo.
You're a terrible mother-in-law.
Terrible. Just a terrible human in general, not even
Yeah.
mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, take that part away. You're just a terrible human being.
Just be aware if we ever encounter you in public, we will shit on your face.
To be fair, we might attempt to crop dust first, but we'll make sure we save one of the questionable ones where we don't know which way it's going to go.
Get ready.
Be like a real Russian roulette
Get ready.
situation here.
Dear God.
And now we begin to look at the best of the worst, the Biggest Asshole Award. But we saw more assholes than a public restroom in 2024. There are too many worthy pucker slugs out there to pick just one, am I right? Too many terribly self-centered, dramatic, narcissistic, world-destroying stank wranglers. We think so. So let's treat this year's award like the Asshole Olympics. Please help us celebrate this year's bronze medal winner for Biggest Asshole.
My 28 male wife called me in a frenzy, telling me that her water broke and that she was going into labor. I was already on the road, about 30 minutes away, tending to my mother. I told my wife to call an ambulance because I would not be the one turning around to drive her to the hospital and witness her birth. Instead of calling my sister or an ambulance, my wife called her male friend that I've always disliked. I told my sister to get on FaceTime with me, but not to make it obvious to anyone else in the delivery room, and I would stay silent on the other end. During the call, I saw my wife's friend comforting her when she screamed and cried, etc. I couldn't bear the sight, and I ended the FaceTime and told my sister to inform my wife that I would be at the hospital the next day after work. So you decided right then you weren't even going? When I went over to the hospital to see my wife and newborn son, she was not trying to hide her anger and saltiness from anyone in the room. I'm not proud of this, but in response I called her a cheater for inviting another man into the delivery room in place of her husband. No, sir! You do not know the meaning of dedication and marriage and...
We chose this for third place, which I called the bronze asshole.
The bronze.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, this is a pretty big asshole. So just knowing that there are two coming up who are worse is something, right? But how dumb do you got to be? I don't know.
How dumb do you have to be to send your sister in to film your wife in birth because you chose to go tend to your mom who told you she was fine and in a fender bender? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Abandon your wife at this time and then only worry about your own fucking ego.
Yeah.
And then get
Instead
mad
of your
because
wife's well-being.
because she had to ask a neighbor to take her to the hospital. You're
You think
fucking
the neighbor
Brozo.
wanted to take her to the hospital? You think he's like trying to swoop in and be like, "Oh, well, since you weren't here, I'm replacing you now."
Yeah.
Did he freak out because, you know, as a first-time parent, that's a possibility, and he just ran to his mommy instead? But then to let his ego or his insecurity just run rampant.
Like, make sure you film that
He's
to make
doing
sure she
some-
doesn't do anything.
She's in there with another dude.
What's she gonna do?
Right.
There's another human with a penis
Let me,
in the room.
I think he was doing mental gymnastics because he was freaked out about having a baby to convince himself that he needed to go check on his mom, even though he knew she was okay. Because he's like, well, I got to, you know, like, because he was freaked out. And then he was like, well, I'm going to have my sister there just to be sure, because he was mentally convincing himself, mental gymnastics, like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then he finds out there's going to be another dude there. And then he's like, well, what is this? Because, you know, can't blame him. He's blameless. And so, yeah, he got all butthurt because there's another guy in the room, which is his fault. And it's not because of any
that's
reason
all
other
on
than the
him.
fact that he's a brozo.
The
You know,
only person in the story who's allowed to be butthurt is the person who pushed a human being.
The person whose
I'm
butt
like, you know who
hurts.
doesn't get to get scared about childbirth and run away? The person that's pushing out the fucking child, and you abandoned her to go check
Yeah.
on your mom who you knew was okay.
Mhm.
So you, sir, earned the title of number 3, bronze.
Third biggest
The bronze
asshole.
asshole.
The bronze
asshole.
bitch. That's what you are.
The bronze bitch.
Step up or get the fuck out.
LeBron's James.
Step up, or
The bronze James asshole.
Step up or get the fuck out.
Really, the biggest part that bothers
Step
me about
down.
this OP is that he's a coward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Total coward.
You don't get to do this kind of shit when you are a husband and father.
No.
You just don't. You don't get to flip the fuck out and not step up and at least be there. That's the bare fucking minimum, is be there.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to be a freaking guru that can make everything better. Just fucking be there.
Mhm.
And you couldn't even check that first box. Like, this is 100% on LeBron's James asshole.
Jesus.
The bronze.
Is second place just first loser? Hey, if the butt plug fits. We read so many stories and saw so many assholes in 2024 that achieving second place, the silver butthole, if you will, requires a truly extraordinary level of mother pucker. This OP achieved it on a golf cart, and she ain't even sorry. Here is our silver medalist for biggest asshole.
I live in a very small town, the type of place with 8 roads where people drive golf carts to get around, and it's not surprising to see 6-year-olds riding the streets on their 4-wheelers or dirt bikes. My daughter is 6 months old and a very consistent sleeper. After she falls asleep, she doesn't wake up to eat until 4 to 5. She sleeps with only a pacifier, no blankets or toys in the crib with her. I have a network PTZ camera above her crib. The camera is set up to send a push notification to my and my spouse's phones if any movement is detected, and it is very sensitive. I love my children very much. My spouse and I work hard to ensure we are meeting our kids' needs physically, mentally, and emotionally. I had a small get-together with some friends in town. It's 6 blocks from my house. I took my golf cart to the get-together. I knew I would be down there for 2 to 3 hours before my spouse would get home. My spouse and I were on the same page with this decision. Before leaving, I double-checked the monitor and made sure my daughter was asleep. I had a friend that got very upset with me about this decision, and some of the things that they said about me have pissed me off and rubbed me the wrong way. Am I the astronaut for leaving my daughter at home in this specific situation?
We chose this story because she felt it was better to leave the infant alone and go to a party than to stay home and wait for her spouse to arrive before going to the party. Like, if you are putting a party above a fucking block party above your child's safety, you're on the scale.
yeah.
And sleeping for an infant does not mean they're safe.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, there are a lot of things
They
that
could
can
just
happen.
roll over the wrong way.
Right. There are a lot of things that can happen there, and abandoning your post is like the bronze asshole. Like, this, that's a cowardly thing.
It's
And
valuing a backyard cookout over your baby's life.
What if it was Keanu
I do
Reeves?
not.
If it was a Keanu Reeves cookout.
it's still not good enough. It doesn't trump life. Knowing that this is the silver medalist for biggest asshole, there's at least one that's worse here, which is pretty freaking bad, because abandoning your kid.
A monitor,
Cookout
yeah.
is
A
not-
monitor
It's
is
just
not
not
a
okay.
parent.
No.
Yeah,
There's
so don't.
there's no cookout food that could be that good.
Right.
Mm-mm.
I remember one time you spray painted your butt silver when I was a child.
I spray painted what?
Your butt.
What?
Silver?
The rest of you too. You spray painted everything silver.
You spray
whole body.
painted your body? I don't think that's safe.
We probably use body paint.
Yeah, what was that for?
I don't know. I was young.
For some kind of costume.
No, it
Was it your
wasn't. I was a
skin?
child. We were just at home and you started spray painting yourself silver, and then you'd open the door and be like, Caden, I'm turning silver. And then you made me call my grandpa and tell him that you were turning silver. And I was concerned. And you were like, just slowly turning fully silver.
I think I might need to get you an award.
You convinced me that you were turning into like the Silver Surfer or something.
This totally sounds like something you would
It
do.
sounds like something I would absolutely.
Traumatizing.
Sounds like something he'd do bored on Friday night and be like, I'm gonna fuck.
On the topic
Probably
of
what happened was I was using that spray paint on something, accidentally got some on my hand, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Psh. I was like, I'll be damned. And then I'm like, hey, look, Caden.
I don't know, because
And
you were like,
probably like, whoa.
You
you
put
were like
spray paint on your body?
he was
Yeah.
covered, like his whole torso, legs, silver. Like, I just, on the topic of silver
Read
buttholes,
the
I thought now was the
toxicity
time.
report on the back of it that
really
says don't do
explains a
this.
lot.
He lived.
It explains a lot about why I am the way I am now.
I'm embarrassed.
Yikes.
Poison?
Now I'm the silver butthole surfer.
So coming in at second place actually is the silver butthole surfer.
We have a last minute entry.
The most applicable silver medalist we've ever given away.
Dear God.
Anyway,
that is 100%
our actual silver medalist.
Why?
The neglectful parent here. Yeah.
Congratulations on being number 2.
I don't even remember who.
Enjoy your
number
medal.
was.
Get fucked.
And finally, the top dog shit, the golden asshole, the big kapuna, the ass champion. Wow. I mean, just wow. First place for biggest asshole from an entire year of reading stories about assholes, somewhere around 1,000 of them, is really impressive in a really terrible kind of way. It takes a rare combination of stupidity, rigidity, and good old-fashioned evil to claim the golden asshole. Truly the worst of the worst, this award actually doesn't go to OP in this story, but a character in her story. Here's this year's first place gold medal winner for biggest asshole.
I was married when I was 22 and my husband was 25. He had a daughter who was 2 when we married. I considered her my daughter in every way. My husband passed away sadly when she was 4. So I, 34 female, have been with my fiance Jesse, 35 male, for 8 years. My daughter Bailey is 14. She considers Jesse her father. Jesse always treated her sweetly and like a daughter, but knows of my husband who had passed away. I'm currently 6 months pregnant. We are all excited. Jesse has told me how he wants to adopt Bailey after getting married. We did plan a big dinner. We were all catching up and having a great night till the topic of the wedding came up. That is when things went downhill. We got talking about our honeymoon. We were going to bring Bailey because that was our plan. When Jesse did say he didn't want to bring Bailey, which kind of shocked me, he started going on about how now we both have a real child and we don't have to pretend anymore to take care of my stepdaughter who was never my real child. I kind of freaked out in front of everybody and told him that Bailey would always come first and he is last to me now. He doesn't have the right to say that selfish shit and expect everything to be.
We chose this story because you have to be a special kind of cruel to pretend that you love a child for 8 years and then all of the sudden, right as you're about to get married, be like, finally we can stop pretending, and just assume that the other person was also pretending with you that you never really loved this child because it's not yours, and that you're just gonna drop it off somewhere and have a happy life with your new child. Like, that's
To be the biggest asshole,
that's cruel.
you have to border on the line of returning a child to wherever they came from, like it's a freaking pound.
Yeah,
You're a disgusting human being.
you're finally getting a new couch so you can return the old couch that you pretended to like for 8 years, but it was like that. Like,
I mean, that's the equivalent of when Navy's born. Be like, okay,
Yeah.
the rest of them,
We
we
don't
have to
want
worry
you
about
guys
now.
anymore.
We don't have to
have
worry
a
about that
new
now. We've got the
child.
new one that's ours, so let's stop pretending.
It belongs to both of us. So
Yeah.
now we don't want you guys anymore because you don't belong to
It's
part of us.
insane.
part of what makes it the golden butthole is that he didn't just treat this child wrong. He pretended that he loved her, and there wasn't a relationship established there, and so it hurt the child even more because, like,
But then,
for the child didn't know. There was no prior communication or even like signs, because she said he was a great dad at first. OP said that he acted as a great dad at first, and then this is why it was so out of left field, because I think that makes it worse, because it makes it more painful for the kid,
Right.
because the kid doesn't
The
understand.
trust issues that Bailey is now going to have for life.
Yeah, the kid's gonna look at it as a reflection of herself too.
Yeah.
She's gonna blame herself.
But he was such a good actor, apparently.
Yeah.
That how is she going to trust anybody now? How is she going to trust when it comes to relationships? Like, how is she going to trust someone who says they love her? She's always going to be
It's gonna
expecting the mask to come off.
lasting issues is what this is gonna cause.
This man uprooted an entire child's life because of genetics, because that child wasn't related to him by blood. Blood does not make family, like in any way, shape, or form. How you treat people makes them family. And he showed who he really was. And I'm so glad that this woman believed him Like, I'm so glad that she didn't brush this to the side. I'm glad that she took this seriously and protected her kids,
Yeah.
both of them, because the favoritism that would have been shown to the
Would've been
child that is
awful.
biologically his would have destroyed Bailey's life as well. So the fact that he made himself known before this child was born is going to save some of the damage that would have happened to that 14-year-old girl.
You know what's going to be hilariously ironic now is that if he ever wants to have a relationship again, he's going to have to expect some woman to accept his child that is not biologically hers.
Right.
How's that going to
You're
work?
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit, dude.
Piece of shit. That's
And
why
we
you're the
gladly
golden
give you the
asshole.
title of Golden Asshole.
The biggest asshole.
You are the golden nugget.
Is there anything bigger
Is there
than
anything? Maybe.
a golden asshole?
Let's find out.
Hold up. I've just received an important update, folks. We're not done. There's one more award to announce, sort of. You see, some stories hit closer to home, and this one hit particularly close to home, like right in between the cheeks. Not my cheeks, but you'll see what I mean. Here is an honorable mention for biggest asshole.
I-31 male, work at a marketing agency. We have a badass team of creative individuals. And about a year and a half ago, my boss, let's call him Rusty, created a TikTok account where he reads stories from Reddit. It has been a crazy ride, and we have built a great community of loyal and supportive followers. Their passion for my boss's stories, and our team is second to none. What if we did a 24-hour live stream? Then it came time to pitch the idea to my boss, and my other boss, his lovely wife, let's call her Mandy. Once I was able to get Mandy on board, we pitched it to the rest of the team, and they hesitantly joined in the planning process. We had to compile 100 stories to read in 24 hours. Our awesome team, which includes names changed to protect the innocent, Braden, Tessie, Blaine, and Mandy, worked hard to put together everything for Rusty's live stream. Rusty and I somehow made it the whole 24 hours. We might have lost a few brain cells, but I think it was worth it. He's a true rock star, and Mandy might want to strangle me while Rusty recovers, but I think it was a great adventure. So Dusty, am I the astronaut for making my boss do a 24-hour live stream, or am I DFHB approved?
We chose this story for an honorable mention because we know it well. And actually, our award winner is right here. So, we actually have something physical to hand a winner here. You want to pass that over? Tater Thunder?
Congratulations, Tony.
Congratulations. Win.
Biggest asshole honorable mention.
I have so many people to thank, mainly me, because this story wouldn't have been possible without me. And, you know, I wrote it, and it's all about me, and I won the award. So I have a lot of people to thank, but mainly me. We can get to those people later.
But what's the most important part? Follow at
Tony
Tony
Spark
Spark
important part of all this. If you could take one thing away from this award and the DUSTYS, it's to follow at Tony Spark _ on TikTok.
Obviously.
For sure.
Because I think
the
that's
biggest.
the moral of all of this, and the Dusty show and the 24-hour live. It was all just a big ploy to get me followers. So
Obviously.
Wait, who's Tony Spark?
okay.
Oof.
Okay.
You know what's
Cut
funny
deep,
is that
Caden.
I imagine people on the other side of this think you're a hero for convincing us to do the 24-hour live, right? And not an asshole.
Yeah.
A hero.
So,
Well,
question.
some call it a hero, some call it an icon, some call it
you
a genius. I don't know. You know, it's whatever. Those are for you to say,
Inconsiderate.
not for me. I've never heard anybody say that. You know, icon, genius, hero, revolutionary. Like that's, you know, those are your words.
Tony
not mine.
Spark was the hero we deserve.
Yeah.
Just not the hero we need right now.
No, the 24-hour live was cool though. It was.
Would you ever do
It was
it
a lot
again?
of work. Yeah.
No.
Get ready for the
Answer too
42 hour.
quickly. You answered too
40
quickly.
Yeah.
What I meant.
I don't know.
Caden had a meltdown and rapped.
To be fair,
I think I would have to have some kind of bar height stool to
but
sit.
well, yeah,
because
we'd have to
my
figure that
back
out. But
just couldn't.
But honestly, like, I mean, I didn't. Dusty did all of it. He was the one on camera. He did all the reading, all of that stuff. Like, But I didn't think it was that bad.
Speak for yourself.
We had a lot of people jump.
I mean, yes,
I went up there and knocked down some drinks.
I understand that.
It's true. It's true.
But out of like 24 hours,
During the one nap
He was
time
the
that I had.
champion.
out of 24 hours, you were on camera
Sounds about right.
You were on camera for probably 22 and a half hours out of 24
You were a
hours.
champion. You both were.
But I also, honestly though, I thought it went smoother. Like I thought it went pretty smoothly.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Why are you caressing the astronaut's butt?
it was weird.
You're talking about how it went smoothly.
Okay. I don't know what to do with this anymore.
You know where that came from?
Take it. I don't
Quit stroking the golden
You've made it-
astronaut.
So you guys have made it weird. Anyway, the 24-hour live. Back to me.
Oh, I see. There's a little bump.
Yeah, I was like, what is
Little bump
that?
diddy boo there.
I was like,
It's got a growth.
back to me being the hero here, people. No, it was good. I thought it went really smooth. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest. But again, I just
It was
sat
fun.
there.
It was a fun once in a lifetime
and-
opportunity. I don't think we'd do 24 hours again. We may do
48.
something.
Get ready.
Shorter.
This is the
96.
announcement.
Like the hardest part was the leading up to it. For me, the hardest part was the leading up to it. Like once it happened, like it was there, we just run through it and just keep going.
We're doing
like,
them.
You talking
Dusty's-
about foreplay?
Okay.
He was rubbing the astronaut's butt for a reason.
The hardest part was leading up to it. Once it was there, it was done.
This is what you people can see now, is that when I finally get my moment and award.
This is how you guys treat me all day, every
I
day.
just want to
I'm
say,
sorry. Was this your award or mine?
All day.
Beyonce had one of the best
mine.
24-hour streams of
This
all
was
time.
mine.
And you insinuated
I feel now I know how Taylor felt when Kanye walked up on the stage because that's what's happening right now. This
I'm gonna
was
let you
my
finish,
moment.
but I just wanted
This
to say,
was my
Dusty
moment,
had one of
and
the
these people took it away
Best
from me.
videos of 2024.
It is what it is. It is what
I
it
just
is.
say Dusty deserved this. No, congratulations for real.
For our final award, we're introducing something brand spanking new. The greatly anticipated, highly requested, super important, yet somehow doesn't matter Black Hole Award. Now, to receive the Black Hole Award is truly something special. Not just any asshole can be worthy of it. ASCON 1 is reserved for terrible humans, and to surpass that, woof. In the black hole, there's no light, no hope, no decency, just more asshole. And here's our winner for the first ever Black Hole Award.
I, 28 female, recently gave birth to our twin babies. While I'm overjoyed to be a mom, I've never felt more physically and emotionally drained in my life. I suffered from postpartum hemorrhage right after delivery, and I had to be rushed into emergency surgery. I nearly died. My husband was helpful while I was recovering in the hospital, but once we got home, he checked out. Instead of helping when he's home, he escapes to his man cave to play video games or go out with friends. I'm left alone to care for the twins, and the exhaustion has become unbearable. I've tried to ask Matt for help, but every time I do, he brushes me off. His go-to excuse is that I'm on maternity leave, and this is what moms do. He says he needs to decompress after work and that I should be grateful he's working to provide for us. Meanwhile, I'm lucky if I get 30 minutes of sleep in between feedings, and I'm running on pure adrenaline at this point. Last week, after another exhausting day with no help, I tried to talk to him about how I felt like I was drowning. His response, he asked when we were going to start having sex again. He said it's been 2 months and I'm getting frustrated. Having kids will show you how selfish you really are, right? Well,
So we chose this one as the brand new Black Hole Award because for a long time, the discussion has been there has to be something worse than ASCON 1. And even though we will not change the ASCON scale, this is an add-on thing, right? So it is beyond ASCON 1. It's the worst of the worst. And Black Hole is pretty applicable because it sucks everything into it and completely destroys it. Just makes it disappear, right? And this jabroni,
Yeah.
couldn't be bothered to actually be a dad. We have a lot of people on this award show who are just fucking cowards who can't step up and either be a parent or a spouse, and just can't do like the bare minimum that is not fulfilling some kind of selfish desire.
A lot of terrible parents in these awards.
Really are.
Ruining your kiddos.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes as parents, but to not show up is the worst mistake that you can fucking make.
Absolutely.
And to leave them and to put everything on your partner to handle the kids while you do whatever the fuck you want to do is going to spin you into a black hole. You're nasty.
Twins. You imagine like having twins and me being like,
peace out. I'm going to the golf course. I'm going to be gone all day.
Right.
And then when I see you in a puddle in the floor, I'm going to mock you. No, I can't imagine.
No, because it wouldn't happen. And if it did, I'd be kicked out of the damn house immediately.
You'd be more than that.
I'd have a mug on the floor.
I'd have a mug shot.
I'd have a mug shot. Neighbors are like, "Oh, what are you digging back there,
There's
Candy? Don't worry about it."
He won the Black Hole Award. There's the black hole.
Yeah. I think what I took from the story, and I think is so important to know, is that everybody has a breaking point. People can snap, especially when you keep piling shit and shit and shit and more shit on top of them. They are going to break because we are not made to mentally handle all of that someone else is throwing at us. And to just keep doing it over and over and over again is going to cause somebody to break, and it's going to cause somebody to pick up a fucking golf club and destroy something.
And if you want to see somebody snap, push them even further closer to the edge while they're in the process of trying to raise babies. Because
postpartum
babies,
twins.
If both parents are involved, you're both going to be fried.
Right.
Putting it all on one person just means that one parent is double fried,
and then
adding even more shit on there.
It's like quadruple.
Oh my God.
Right.
There ain't enough breading on the planet for that much frying, right?
Yeah.
It's not
right.
okay. It's
to
a
do
shitty
this
human
to
being.
because what were they, 2 months old? I
don't
think.
know if they were even 2 months, like around there. Yeah, it was very young. She was struggling hardcore, and she was trying to get his attention, and she was begging for help, and he was not there.
There's a special place for you.
My tea time is coming up, and
I gotta order mac and cheese balls. Me and the boys are gonna go hit up Bass Pro later.
I'm really booked up.
Those hormones postpartum too are it's fucking brutal, and I don't blame her for what she did.
No, she was justified 100%.
Enjoy your award, you black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, gaping.
Congratulations to all of our Dusty Award winners tonight. "2024 was nothing short of magical, and we thank each and every one of you for being a part of this journey with us, including being here, watching this, celebrating the second annual Dustys with us. Before we say goodnight, I need to say a very special thank you to the team here at Stormcloud Marketing. Of course, Candy Thunder, Tony Spark, Caden Thunder, Shane, who's responsible for the badass graphics that you see tonight, plus our beloved fam, made up of members from the Storm on TikTok and the Thunder Crew on YouTube. You are all incredible humans, and this literally would not have happened without your love, support, and input. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, if you stick around, you'll be able to see each of the winning videos in its entirety, plus maybe an Easter egg or two. Congrats again to our winners, and thank you for being here.
Thank you all so much for hanging out with us during this show, the second annual DUSTYS Awards. And yeah, it wasn't a live stream this time. Y'all know why.
Never again will that happen.
Hopefully, this format works well, and we can do it again. And also, be sure that you stick around afterward if you want to watch the full length stories that were all winners today with feedback on there. So be sure to hang around. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We had fun doing this. I feel like this at least was a lot less traumatic for me.
Yeah.
Probably all of us. But
also,
I mean, it was
hair
pretty
was so
traumatic for
long
everybody.
in the first Dusty.
it was I had very long hair.
Should
You
do it
looked
again.
so different.
So
Like crazy different.
my the teen daughters disagree. They thought it was cringe.
He was showing them the teaser or the Tech Gremlin teaser story, and they were both like looking at his long hair.
Yeah,
they just can't get on board with it.
You just gotta make it.
That was so deep.
You have the best hair, though.
That was so deep.
And Caden got your hair like follicle for follicle.
Follicle for follicle.
I said what I said.
Oh,
I
shit.
stand by it. I stand by that.
Well, thank you for watching the Dusties.
Thank you for watching the second annual Dusties. Another Tony Spark idea.
I know you just watched for me, but they appreciate
executed
it.
this idea.
Whose idea? Whose brainchild was it?
I'm gonna make
Mine.
you. I'm gonna make
Who
you.
said, "Let's bring back the Dusties"?
I'm
Me.
gonna make
I
you
did
a
all.
Sean
Who took
Land-
creative control?
I did.
Land like post
Nobody was doing it.
Show with Sean Land Productions. I'm gonna make one, but it's gonna be like
A Tony Spark brainchild.
a Tony Spark brainchild kind of thing. Yeah.
Candy did all the work for this. She really did. She worked very hard on all the stories.
I'm just kidding.
She worked very hard on all the stories, the categories. She did a wonderful job executing my
A round of
idea.
applause to the team here for making this thing happen. It's a real team up.
Shane, shout out to Shane. Did a lot
Shane
of
has
work
done
on
an
the
amazing
on the
job.
graphics, the videos. Caden working on the excellent blooper reel that is it after this part or before this part or during the show?
There'll
I
be
don't know where
bloops.
the bloopers are going.
The
actually.
blooper reel that you may or may not have seen at this point in the video. Caden did a great job on that. Dusty did a lot of the video edits as well. Of course, obviously the star of the Dusties is Dusty
Just the
himself.
monkey they put in front of the camera.
Dusty
No.
Thunder himself.
That's it.
None of
We
the
got-
Dusties wouldn't be possible without Dusty and Candy Thunder.
No, it wouldn't be possible without the guy who reads the stories.
That's true.
Yeah. But without Dusty,
bring
it would just
him-
be the ease.
You bring him to life, babe.
Please.
Thanks, Caden. I appreciate it.
It's a true team effort.
All right, and with that, enjoy.
What's yet to come?
Yep.
Congratulations, winners.
Congratulations
Y'all suck.
to all you winners. Even though I'm the only one who got a real trophy.
These are asshole-infested waters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Caden Thunder's Grill.
Wow. Me.
Farted in Bluey's face.
Oh, yeah. You say he's...
He baked. But I have a husband that supports.
It's like the dick calling the wiener black. That doesn't work. That doesn't, pot kettle. Yeah, that did not. Dick's Insider Mom. Whole big old bag of them high bears as well there. Thanks so much. What are you laughing at? What am I screwing up? Am I screwing something up? Is there a side joke going on here? Oh, shit. Now I see it. Dick's Insider Mom. Hey, I just wanted to say I just looked at the bingo cards for the first time and y'all are screwed because I don't plan on using the bathroom for 24 hours. You're going to have one blank spot the whole time.
Yeah, right.
I'll internalize it. I'll reabsorb it back into my body.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Potty break is happening.
Dusty Thunder is taking a bathroom break. It's happening.
Wait, go back one.
I gotta ask you, why are these sticky on the back?
Just we don't want to talk about it. They're not okay. First off, stop. No,
A slice of cake just arrived. No shit.
Elise, you're awesome. Thank you so much, man.
these are like dense, heavy pieces of cake.
Dude. You come back in a couple of hours and my face is just covered in frosting.
This is McKenna.
Hello. I want to tell people if they're assholes or not. Yes, you are. You are an asshole. Oh, I should tell them if you're an asshole.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Yes, he is.
Something, princess. When did you last let your heart decide?
Time is ticking away. Tick, 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 ticking. I had to go on medication when I was 13. I did have 2 drinks tonight. Plus a glass of wine. 3 drinks.
I can tell.
I could show you the world.
We got to get these numbers up. We got to pump these numbers up.
Shimmering.
We got this. We got this, guys. Have we taken naps? Do we look like people who have taken naps in the last 22 hours? No, we haven't.
If she epped up. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I said thanks for the vote of confidence.
Different when I can't hear the music.
Sama lama duma lama, you assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through you? I'm superhuman, innovative.
Drink.
Sorry.
I just knocked over all of Dusty's 17 drinks that he had piled up here into a pile of confetti. Why is sausage a thing right now? The storms, some kind of sausage costume party. It's all happening.
Is at least moving in a positive direction there. But thank you so much for popping it in. Or popping in. I'm sorry. Words are hard. I'm an idiot. Caden Thunder, you are not helping. If you're going to cover your mouth trying not to laugh, don't do it right in my line of sight.
We did it! Yeah!
Oh, he's too mainstream. Well, that's what they do. They get jealous, they confuse it.